So, Warren, what have we got this afternoon transfer-wise?
Headphones?
Thanks for. We're just delighted to have you here, really.
Let's start with what we're all calling surely the daily Pogba, and what seems to be the only thing stopping. Hey, this is actually quite quick compared to other sagas in the past.
It's done. He's going to Manchester United.
The only thing stopping it now is Mino Raiola's fee in this. Now, he's used social media for the first time in 46 days actually to tweet, "There is no deal done regarding Pogba. Lots of blah, blah, blah," is what he tweeted today. So clearly he's telling everyone.
Well, he's just trying to.
He's clearly telling everyone just to kind of get on with it.
I would imagine
get my
his fee is
out.
probably the most annoying fee for all of them, because Pogba is the commodity, so he's entitled to make some money. Juventus are entitled to get the money from United. But the agent, you think about, they're talking about 18.4 million. Let's be honest, he was happy at Juventus till the end of the season. So he's only been really working on this transfer from the end of the season until now, right? So that's 18.4 million for
apparently there's something written in the contract when he went to Juventus that he would get a percentage of anything.
Credit to the bloke. He's not done anything wrong, but it is a massive amount of money that's going out of the game, and this is why a lot of people are not mad about agents, because in the end it is 2 months' work, isn't it?
He's had a decent summer, to be fair, hasn't he? Mkhitaryan, Zlatan as well.
I know, exactly.
New Prius in the offing. So, so that's one still bubbling along.
Saido Berahino as well. Bid from Stoke is still being considered. Palace Watford are still monitoring the situation as well. Now, what I think the thing to look for in this sort of, again, we use the word saga as well, is West Bromwich Albion's pursuit of another striker. Now, the nearer that comes to a conclusion, what we would see is Saido Berahino being moved out of the club as well.
Who are they after, Warren? Do we know?
Not sure at the moment, but they do want another striker to actually replace him as well. So they're not. My understanding is he won't be able to leave until they actually get.
They're quite light, aren't they? They've got Rondon, they've got Sessegnon.
He's been released.
Has he?
He's been released as well as Victor Anichebe as well. Also left this summer as well. So they definitely do need another striker in before he's allowed to go out as well. Premier League champions, Leicester, Jeff Slupp, 2 bids rejected from West Bromwich Albion, staying with them. 26 appearances last season.
Yeah, useful for them.
3 years left on his contract. But again, the issue is around what's happening with Leicester is a lot of players sign contracts but clearly a Premier League win or Champions League qualification wasn't actually in any of those contract negotiations.
Most of their agents would have gone back in and at some point to all those boys and said, look, we're dealing with Premier League champion now, and that should be.
That's the issue. There seems to be a backlog of meetings or deals being sorted out with players, and Jeffrey Slupp is in that situation alongside Danny Drinkwater as well. And
really?
we know one player who they definitely are after is Robbie Brady from Norwich. We've spoke about that. Norwich want £20 million for Robbie Brady if he is going to be allowed to move to Leicester. That's a huge amount of money for a player they paid for about £6-7 million a year ago.
That is bonkers.
That's the situation we're in as well. We've spoken about Leroy Sane as well. Now we know that Pep Guardiola has now confirmed the club are in talks. He said, of course, we're talking to him, but at this moment we don't have many possibilities to get him as well. But clearly he's a player that we've spoke about a lot. We spoke about Pep Guardiola's recruitment while he was at Bayern Munich for Manchester City. He's one of the players that he definitely wants to get.
I can't believe they're not really addressing their needs. We were talking about.
We spoke about fullbacks. Yeah, I completely agree. But mate, again, let's judge them once the window's shut as well in terms of the business they do. We always have to give them.
The way this season is, you can't afford to do a Tottenham, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you can't wait till the end of the
You can't wait till September before you start winning games.
I completely agree.
Because if Tottenham had made a better start and had players in place, they could well have won the league. It was sort of 3 games.
That's the reason why they've done their business early.
Season didn't start until September.
Newcastle, Grant Hanley's been confirmed on a 5-year deal today. Moussa Sissoko as well. We spoke about him. Arsenal are showing some interest, but we know Newcastle won £35 million for him. My understanding is Arsenal are only prepared to go to around £20 million, which is a route for before the Euros. I think that would have been a reasonable
thing. He did play in the European final, didn't he? So
there wasn't a lot of interest in him, to be fair, before the Euros. He had a very good Euros, put himself clearly in what we call the shop window, and £35 million. But there is some reports suggesting Juventus are keen to get
he showed
somewhere
in that
near
final
that
what he
£35
can
million.
do, didn't he?
Absolutely, he's a really good player as well.
Wijnaldum, apparently, you start to read so much into it, suddenly someone's saying, oh, Daniel Sturridge has just followed Wijnaldum on Twitter, which means the deal is effectively done, which he probably does, but Liverpool is Liverpool's man, isn't
it? The fee was agreed pretty much yesterday or within the last week or so. Spurs dropped out, £25 million. Again, we've had this conversation about Wijnaldum. I think he's a good player. Then Danny was questioning how many goals he didn't get. Yes, he scored 4 against, was it Norwich? Norwich in one game, but I think he'd be a really
he made a good.
acquisition.
He played well in the first half of the season, and he scored some good goals. But again, jury's slightly out there.
Yeah. Joe Allen, £13 million been accepted from Seoul. That's an interesting one as well.
Goodbye, because he had also very good Euros.
I agree. The only one thing I would say is that just about where would he fit in, because I'm a big Glenn Whelan fan. I think he really makes Stoke tick, so it'd be interesting to see what sort of position, and if that deal is on. He's not due back from pre-season yet because of his exploits with Wales as well.
The smallest team in the league. They've gone from Tony Pulis, where they were the biggest team, now they're really quite a small side.
He's not back for another 5 or 6 days as well. And staying with Swansea as well, Nasser Chadli, a player who they were looking at before he joined Spurs. He's a player on their radar as well. But again, speaking to people very close to the club, their priority is a main striker, with Bafétimbi Gomez going out of the club at some point as well. Marseille having a good look at him. Contact on social media today, guys, about Carlos Bacca as well. West Ham backing for him. A £26 million fee has been agreed, but again, the player is very, very unconvinced about joining West Ham. That is my understanding.
That's strange.
Well,
he's a good player. He'd be good for them.
It's a great story.
Upwardly mobile, Olympic Stadium. He does
manager.
want to play Champions League football, and there is a feeling that AC Milan are really putting a lot of pressure on him to move, but it's going to take a lot of convincing for him to actually agree to leave AC Milan, which he definitely does want to do.
A relative
and
bargain
go
compared
to West Ham.
There must be options for him to go back to Spain.
Maybe he's hanging around waiting to see if there are any options from La Liga, as you say. But at the moment, it's going to be he's going to take a lot of convincing to go to West Ham.
It's all on the website.
Talksport.com.
Talksport.com. Go and check it.